Cronan Saga.
Blackguard, I'll play your game, came Cronan's cold response. Willie's eyes lit up cruelly, and he laughed. Now that's what I want to hear. He snapped his fingers. A shy girl with a delicate figure and innocent eyes glided from the bar to Willie's side. Charlize, bring me the dice. My dice, he said with the consummate relish of a true gambler. Cronan loomed over the table. His shadow hung there, like the chance of violence erupting in the room. The sons formed a circle around them, sniggering, jeering, and jibing, but keeping themselves at the ready. Parts of their bodies extended, flashed menacingly into the craps table's solitary light. A clenched fist, an angry middle finger, the glint of a switchblade. Charlize produced the dice box. It was a fine vessel made with stone inlays and decorated with gold engraving. It made a soft thud when it was placed on the gambling table's well-worn felt. Willie's fingers traced its edges before he opened it. 2 rows of 6 dice, 1 ivory and 1 ebony. Charlize lingered for a moment. "Please help me. Please," she whispered as loudly as she dared, before taking her place behind Willie at the bar. "Really beautiful, aren't they?" Willie gestured coolly to Cronan. "Take your pick." Willie smiled as Cronan selected the ivory. "And don't forget," he showed them a final die, gold with ruby pips attached to his necklace. "House rules. My lucky die. If I need it. But I never do." Willie stirred his whiskey with his finger and took a long sip. He took the ebony set in his hands and began to shake them. The room was silent then, but for the faint clattering in his large, cupped hands. He smiled and cooed, building the tension, clearly enjoying himself. Then, with a sudden "ha!" he let them roll. They tumbled across the worn felt, softly rolling in the dim light. His grin weakened as the dice fell. A 22. There was a murmur amongst the gangsters.
Shit, man. It's still 22. It's all right, boss. 22.
Looks exchanged, teeth exposed, hands tightening around pool cues and brass knuckles. Without saying a word, he nodded at Cronan, who picked up the ivory set. "Fuck him up!" Alex shouted, teeth clenched, his eyes bulging out of their sockets. One of Willie's henchmen kicked him in the side of the knee, knocking him to the ground. Cronan growled, facing the attacker lightning fast. But Willie held up his hand authoritatively. "The game is on," he said threateningly. He took a deep puff of his cigar. And with the smoke, an uneasy peace returned to the proceedings. Cronan resumed shaking the dice and rolled. His eyes followed their trajectory. He scowled. In the moment before they came to rest, he could see what the number would be. 19. Not enough. Damn. He had to rely on one of Lei Feng's cursed artifacts. In a flash, before the gangsters noticed, he quickly grabbed the witch's pendant around his neck. Ominously, it burned his hand. But the dice, which had nearly settled, moved again. His expression unchanged, Cronan released the burning pendant. Though his palm had been charred black and the dice had rolled a second time, they still only showed 21. Willie let out an enormous laugh, leaning back in his chair and clapping his leg and then Claire's thigh. And there you have it. I told you. I never need my lucky die. He calmed himself, wiping a tear from his crocodile eye. Well, a deal is a deal. Now, you've made me whole. He clapped his hands. So, have a drink. He looked at them meaningfully, though Cronan couldn't decide exactly what meaning. And let's talk business. Claire brought another round for the trio. She smiled smokily as she served them, pressing her breasts against Cronan's arm. She stroked his massive flanks with her hands, running her soft tongue along his ribs as he drank. And one for the bird. Get your beak wet. Willie chuckled, a low, dark rumble, as if the confrontation were nothing more than entertainment. Tichere, he said, eyeing them in silence. Cronan drank without breaking his gaze. Willie's fingers drummed a slow, lazy rhythm on the table. He stirred his whiskey again. I might be a gambler, but I ain't stupid, Cronan. You're not the type to come here just to watch me lift a few coins off you. He leaned in, his grin widening. You want more, don't you? Information. Revenge. Maybe even... He licked his lips. A chance to win it all back. Claire looked up at Cronan sultrily and mouthed the word. Alex straightened his leg, grimacing. Fuck him up, Cronan. Let's take him. Blood, he said quietly. Cronan ignored him, for now. He liked Alex's spunk, but he decided to hear Willie out. He didn't bother with small talk. He leaned down, his fists planted on the table, making the wood creak under the weight. What business? Cronan hissed. I'll give you a chance, 'cause I'm a generous guy. He leaned forward, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper, quiet enough that even the sons surrounding the table couldn't hear. That little dice game back there, that's jump change for me. I'm in a war, Cronan. Blood on the streets, my boys, my girls, dead, and worse, all because of the green dolphin and their smooth jazz. At the mention of smooth jazz, Alex's head snapped up, his body vibrating with a dangerous energy. He had been fighting this desire, these whispers, for so long. Unconsciously, he lifted the headphones. Each time, he found himself here, standing at the precipice, on the edge of a cliff, overlooking the void, ready to jump. Needing to set himself free, yearning to find out what was beyond. The void called him. Though he knew the dangers, he was here, yet again, looking into it. Hands quivering, he slowly slid the headphones over his ears. he needed was one little push, one word, one gust of wind, one whisper. He so desperately wanted to taste what was inside, to experience the raw freedom, the uncontrollable pleasure, the incomparable sensation that smooth jazz would provide. Cronan tensed his muscles, the promise of violence coiled tight beneath his skin. The mention of smooth jazz put him too on edge. Billy's beak rang the side of the whiskey glass like a tittering chime as he drank. Cronan spat. "Tell me more." Willie's lips curled into a sneer. "Ever since the Jazzmaker came to this town, we've been losing territory. He's got the whole north side of the city and the financial district. You've seen what his smooth jazz does. It's not natural. If you take him out, this Jazzmaker, I'll give you back everything you lost tonight, and more." Willie's eyes widened as he spoke, and he leaned further forward, matching Cronan's posture. Alex started to quietly moan. He fingered the play button of the tempting Walkman. Just say the word. Say the word. Just say the word. He whispered. "Where?" asked Cronan, more snarl than speech. "The Green Dolphin, a little sinhole of shit. It's always moving from place to place. It's more than just a gang hideout. Now that they've got most of the city, it's where the real power flows, where the high rollers play. The people there, they aren't nice like me," he said, touching his chest. "They like you to bleed. They've got something going on in the next few nights. Something big. I know the quarter of the city where it'll be next. I should tell you, rumor has it, he's not human." Cronan's eyes widened. Another demon? Then perhaps another soul string. "And why do you make this offer, you gutter trash?" Willie leaned back in his chair, shrugging with mock innocence. "Simple. Without the Jazzmaker, the city will be mine, just like it should be." He extended his hand backwards, and a sun gave him some skin.
Hell yeah. Son never said. You got it, Willie. Woo! Yeah.
"Listen, maybe getting the city is the lion's share, but you'll get some too. And even if you don't care about that, I can tell you do about the jazz."